See you.
Good to see you.
Welcome home, Mr. Secretary General.
Absolutely.
And now
There's no defense without a strong defense industry. And there's no European security without a strong transatlantic bond. So we need to bring down barriers and encourage truly transatlantic defense cooperation. Only Europe and North America together can rise up and meet the challenge. Directly into the British industrial base. But we need to do more, we need to do it better and together, and we need to do it now. It is simply unthinkable that Russia, with an economy 25 times smaller than NATO's, should be able to outproduce and outgun us. We must spend more to prevent war. We must win this new war of production. That's what this summit is all about. My wonderful colleagues at NATO. And it's also a pleasure, as always, to be... NATO's leaders are about to take an historic step to provide the resources necessary for strong defense. And now it's up to industry to deliver, and yes, to deliver.
The future of Europe, yes, is being written on the front line in Ukraine, but not only. It is also being written in your factories. In record time, you have managed to open new lines and step up production. You're adapting to the new reality of a full-scale war right here on European soil. 50 billion euros in loans for joint procurement. So overall, as you... The Europe of defense has finally awakened. Tomorrow, the summit will set, indeed, historic new spending targets for NATO allies. But how we invest is just as important as how much we invest. But on the other hand, battles have been won and lost. We will allow dual-use projects to access our new AI gigafactories with their unparalleled computational power. And the same goes for our European Innovation Council Fund for startups. We will seek this kind of synergy across the board. We must better connect our tech industry with our defense industrial base. And my third point, finally. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that Russia will be capable of testing our mutual defense commitments within the next 5 years. By 2030, Europe must have everything it needs for credible deterrence. This is what we call Readiness 2030. But this requires a new mindset for all of us. We must be ready to leave our comfort zone. We must be ready to explore new ways how to do things, bringing together the tech and the defense, the civilian and the military in Europe and, of course, beyond the European Union. I'm deeply convinced, with the right mindset, we can deter everyone who seeks to do harm to us.
thank you very much.
And the President of the European Commission to come to the stage. Maybe you can...
And there is no significant Russian weapon today that is produced without components, without equipment or materials from other countries, sadly, including some from Europe and NATO. Yes, of course. And this must stop. Such components can be found in every Russian missile, in most of their drones, and in military vehicles. And it's not just China. Also, Taiwan and some of these parts come from the European countries and from the United States, and every single component or machine tool delivered to Russia's defense sector helps prolong the war and is a crime against peace. Please, let's make sure that our defense potential and the potential of our partners works for our peace, not for Russia's madness. We all understand that the source of this war and the long-term threat to the European way of life is Russia. But in reality, we are not just facing Russia alone. We are facing a network of state and non-state actors that are serving the cause of aggression. This network includes Russia, North Korea, the current regime in Iran, Chinese companies. Thank you so much.
Secretary General?
Yes.
Next to the Secretary General. Present.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay. So, good afternoon. It is so good to have this opportunity. What we are seeing at this moment is that European and Canadian partners, they are now basically ramping up the support for Ukraine. Already over 35 billion euros pledged this year. That's even before we reach half year on the 1st of July. And last year it was for the full year a little bit over 50 billion. So we can safely assume that the total amount for 2025 will be higher than in 2024. And this shows you that the support for Ukraine is ongoing. Tomorrow we will have a summit with NATO leaders, and I can also safely predict that the support for Ukraine going forward, closely linked to the defense spending of NATO countries, will be there, and will also make sure that, of course, we hope the war will end soon, but if it takes more time, that you have the support in terms of military capabilities, but also when the peace comes or a long-term ceasefire, that you are so strong that Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin will never, ever again try to capture 1 square mile/kilometer of Ukraine.
The most important that the unity of NATO countries and all Europe and European Union, and you see this unity around Ukraine. I think this is the most important things. After this, it opens the way to strengthen Ukraine, to give us strong support, to help our people and families who are abroad to live, and to help to our Ukrainians who are in Ukraine to survive.
We have just discussed how important it is for Ukraine to invest in the extraordinary, agile and innovative Ukrainian defense industry. Therefore, we have designed a funding program of 150 billion euros, we call it SAFE, where member states, but also Ukraine and other partners, can take these loans to invest in the Ukraine defense industry, which has shown its ability to innovate, to produce fast and reliably at scale. We can learn a lot from you, what that is concerned, but in this way we can support you also for the survival of Ukraine.
We are looking forward for our common future. As Ukraine, entire member of the European Union, I'm very happy with the recent assessment of the European Commission about your impressive work to deliver on reforms in such difficult situations, and for sure we are reached the conditions to move forward the ongoing negotiation process to accession to the European Union.
We have to put pressure on President Putin that he comes to the negotiation table and that he's engaging seriously in negotiations for a just and lasting peace. Therefore, the 18th sanctions package is a biting one, is a hard one. I know that our G7 friends will follow suit with their sanctions. So all this shows you are among friends. You can count on us. We stand by your side.
Yours. Good?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.